Professor Gumbo, would you say that there have been gains made in terms of, institutionally speaking, etc., in terms of IKS?
Yeah, we've got 2 universities in the country which I'm very sure have implemented programs on IKS. And one of them is the University of KwaZulu-Natal, and the other one is the University of Northwest. And the move to implement the programs specializing on IKS was sparked by the audit that was conducted mid-90s, which audited indigenous knowledge systems staff in the country from one region to another. And those particular 2 universities that I've just mentioned were part of the process to audit indigenous knowledge systems.
Do we have any institution focusing on traditional medical activities, achievements, and so on? Or are we at the point of specialization as yet?
Not as yet, and I'm not aware of any institution locally that actually specializes in that area. I'm only aware, if I'm not mistaken, that the University of Western Cape has done something with the medical council in South Africa, tapping into some of the indigenous medicinal plants to try and subject them to the laboratory to find out the ingredients and the function those could make. Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, as we discuss here, that down the road, the real excellent thing would be for us to have universities or departments specializing, for example, not only traditional medicine, architecture, for example, and construction, irrigation and agriculture, traditional the terraces and terracing. There's so much to do. Textiles, fabric across the continent, and comparative context, etc.
Yeah.
And so maybe this is something we should also be thinking about.
Yes, definitely. There's no doubt in my mind with the progress made this far in the country to legislate the move to actually take indigenous knowledge systems seriously and to infuse that in the educational policy, that in the near future we will begin to see institutions actually taking much interest in this. There are many benefits one could think of for the graduates in the field and could be absorbed in fields like tourism, fields like all sectors of engineering, for an example. So talking about my university, for an example, UNISA, we are in the process of recurriculating our undergraduate program, and one of the prerequisites is to infuse indigenous knowledge systems in our degree program, diploma program, certificate programs. Yeah.
Look forward to the time when IKS will be actually a compulsory subject on the curriculum.
In fact, also in the process of conceptualizing the master's and doctoral program to propose a section or maybe even a department that would solely focus on indigenous knowledge systems and technology. So I'm still to involve colleagues in my College of Education and to actually begin discourses so that, or even those beyond, in other colleges and from even other institutions, since indigenous knowledge systems is a field that actually promotes interdisciplinary engagements, to come up with a very, what I can refer to as a rich, critiqued and evaluated kind of a program. And there's no doubt in my mind that once we have that set up and running, we will have students who will be very interested enrolling in the program. And so my idea is to make it as practical as possible. The model that I have designed in my conceptualization is a model to work very closely with communities. And I can recall that in the workshop today, we touched on valuing the oral form of sharing information, interviews in particular, and going back, thinking about the role that elders in the community and being so rich with indigenous knowledge itself, we can rely a lot from such primary resources or sources of knowledge that students enrolled in their master's and doctoral program can actually, engage with and solicit rich data that they can analyze and come up with very powerful reports from their studies.
Well, I have to thank you for allowing me to interview you on this very interesting subject, and I look forward to more exciting reports of progress in the field.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.